Come on in. You're entering the Ska Zone. Laissez Bon Temps. Yes. Tinkle. Hey, Nikki. How you doing, darling? Gonna stay up for this. Bill got 316. Oh, y'all like that intro? That's compliments of Izzy Pop. A.K.A. Tinkle Pop. Scully's House with Rooms. Whoop. It's me. Next Mysteries. Scummag. Sound check. Angela Critters. How's that sound, Angela? The Creepypasta channel. It's Kim Maple, sir. The Bakers in the house. Skus. Hey, Tingle Brain. Bust through the door, Kramer style. Spring flowers fall. Beverly Tingles. How you doing? The butt balls. How's that sound, Izzy? Naughty Nicky. Hey, player. Naughty Nicky. It's Bobby Scott. Bobby Catalan. Welcome. Sounds good to you? Awesome. Skus, says Nick.
Tonight
we're going to be doing a continuation of Tuesday with Morrie by Mitch Albom. Jadsmodia Vlogs. Hello, Jayscullybooks. Hello, Jayscullybooks. Yes. Come on in. Share it out. Tingle Pop. Phil got 316. Phil got 316. Built got 316. Brain tingles begin. It's Genevieve coming in with that rose. Genevieve. Gin, 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 gin. Clicks, gin clicks. No fear, no fear, no fear. Howdy, everyone. No fear. That's right. Hey, Mr. Brushless. Mr. Brushless. And don't forget Tuesday night auditions for Shawshank Redemption. 7 p.m. Central. Come on out and enjoy the show. Be miss, be miss. Be miss. Tingle, 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 tingle. It's be miss, and it's be miss, and it's be miss. Jonica, 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 Jonica. Hey, Jonica, tingle, tingle, tingle. Good evening, Mr. Scully. Hey, Jonica. I'm gonna read to you tonight. Tuesday with Morrie. Be miss, miss, miss. Test, 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 test. Share it out. Tingle, tingle, tingle. Ska, 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 Janica, ska, ska, ska. It's Tammy Tingles. Hey, everybody. Apple canners. Ska, 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 ska. Bonjour, Genevieve. Laissez les bon temps rouler. It's the magic flying potato. The magic flying potato. The magic tingles. Built guy 316. Following Shawshank Redemption, we're going to do a production of Grease, the all-time classic. An episode of Sanford and Son 420, and various other wonderful works of art. No fear, no fear, no fear. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Get ready to drop some of those tingle videos soon. Come on in, check out our membership. Bonjour, signorino. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Potato, magic flying potato. Oh yeah. Sound check, 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 check. Check your brain. Check, 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 check. Tingle, 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 tingle. Pop, 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 pop. You're in another world. In another time. In another place. You're in the sky zone. Bobby Scott, Catalano tingles. crinkle, 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 little star. Scuss, 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 scuss. Check your brain in at the door. Take a number, pull up a seat. We'll have everything in order for you upon your departure. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. I read my novels, other works in the public domain, submissions by you. Naughty Nicky, Nicky, Nicky. How you doing, Phil Guy? Before you slipped into mostly good. Awesome, awesome. It's good. Jonica. Hey, Miss Hopkins. You shared it out. Thank you, darling. TWP Popcorn, my broska. TWP Popcorn. Come on in, buddy. We're reading Tuesday with Morrie. A story about a man who gets Lou Gehrig's disease, and, well, you'll see. Light it up. The popcorn lighting up them emojis. Hey, Jonica. What? Scully. Make sure if you're out there in chat land, say, hey, everybody. What's poppin'? Well, you know, I'm in the reading mood tonight. Got the magic juice. Tingle, 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 tingle. Relax time. It is my freshman year. Morrie's older than most of the teachers, and I am younger than most of the students, having left high school a year early. To compensate for my youth on campus, I wear old gray sweatshirts and box in a local gym. Walk around with an unlit cigarette in my mouth, even though I don't smoke. I drive a beat up Mercury Cougar with the windows down and the music up. I seek my identity in toughness, but it is Morrie's softness that draws me, because he He does not look at me as a kid trying to be something more than I am. I relax. I finished that first course with him and enrolled for another. He's an easy marker. He does not much care for grades. One year, they say, during the Vietnam War, Morrie gave all his male students A's, helped them keep their student deferments. I began to call Morrie Coach, the way I used to address my high school track coach. Morrie likes the nickname. Coach, he says. All right, I'll be your coach. And you can be my player. You can play all the lovely parts of life that I'm too old for now. Tails told me to talk. Hey, Tails, I thought didn't you have a premiere tonight? Popping hard. Easy Pop gifted one membership. Thank you, Easy. Oh, Jonica. Hey, Jonica Tingles. Tingle Brain. Oh, Tuesday night. Okay. Cool. We're reading Tuesday with Morrie by Mitch Albom. Sometimes we eat together in the cafeteria. Morrie, to my delight, is even more of a slob than I am. He talks instead of chewing, laughs with his mouth open, delivers a passionate thought through a mouthful of egg salad, little yellow pieces spewing from his teeth. It cracks me up. The whole time I know him, I have two overwhelming desires: to hug him and to give him a napkin. The sun beamed in through the dining room window, lighting up the hardwood floor. We've been talking there for nearly 2 hours. Phone rang yet again, and Morrie asked his helper, Connie, to get it. She had been jotting the callers' names in Morrie's small black appointment book. Friends, meditation teachers, discussion group. Someone who wanted to photograph him for a magazine. It was clear I was not the only one interested in visiting my old professor. The Nightline appearance had made him something of a celebrity, but I was impressed with, perhaps even a bit envious of, all the friends that Morrie seemed to have. I thought about the buddies that circled my orbit back in college. Where had they gone? You know, Mitch, now that I'm dying, I'll become much more interesting to people. You always were interesting, Morrie. Huh, you're kind. No, I'm not, I thought. Here's the thing. People see me as a bridge. I'm not as alive as I used to be, but I'm not dead yet. I'm sort of in between. He coughed, then regained a smile. I'm on the last great journey here, and people want me to tell them what to pack. The phone rang again. Morrie, can you talk? Connie asked. I'm visiting with my old pal now. Let them call me back. Yeah, this overlay is compliments of Izzy Pop tonight. The wonderful and talented Izzy Pop. Tingle Brain. I can't tell you why he received me so warmly. I was hardly the promising student who had left him 16 years earlier. Had it not been for Nightline, Morrie might have died without ever seeing me again. I had no good excuse for this, except the one that everyone these days seems to have. I had become too wrapped up in the siren song of my own life. I was busy. What happened to me, I asked myself. Morrie's voice took me back to my university years when I thought rich people were evil. Shirt and tie or prison clothes and life without freedom to get up and go motorcycle beneath you. Breeze in your face. Down the streets of Paris. Into the mountains of Tibet. Was not a good life at all. What happened to me? The 80s happened. The 90s happened. Death and sickness and getting fat and going bald happened. I traded lots of dreams for a bigger paycheck and never even realized I was doing it. Yet here was Morrie talking with the wonder of our college years, as if I'd simply been on a long vacation. Have you found someone to share your heart with? He asked. Are you giving to your community? Are you at peace with yourself? Are you trying to be as human as you can be? I squirmed, wanting to show I'd been grappling deeply with such questions. I once promised myself I would never work for money, that I would join the Peace Corps, that I would live in beautiful, inspirational places. Instead, I've been in Detroit for 10 years now. The same workplace, using the same bank, visiting the same barber. I was 37, more efficient than in college, tied to computers and modems and cell phones. I wrote articles about rich athletes who, for the most part, could not care less about people like me. I was no longer young for my peer group, nor did I walk around in gray sweatshirts with unlit cigarettes in my mouth. I did not have long discussions over egg salad sandwiches about the meaning of life. Tingle, 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 tingle. My days were full, yet I remained much of the time unsatisfied. What happened to me? What happened to me? Coach, I said suddenly, remembering the nickname. Morrie beamed. That's me. I'm still your coach. He laughed and resumed his eating the meal he had started 40 minutes earlier. I watched him now, his hands working gingerly. As if he were learning to use them for the first time. He couldn't press down hard with a knife. His fingers shook. Each bite was a struggle. He chewed the food finally before swallowing. Sometimes it slid out the sides of his lips, so that he had to put down what he was holding to dab his face with a knife. The skin from his wrist to his knuckles was dotted with age spots, and it was loose, like skin hanging from a chicken soup bone. For a while, we just ate like that. A sick old man, a healthy younger man, both absorbing the quiet of the room. Tinkle, 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 take it down. I would say it was an embarrassed silence. What everybody doing out there? Might be a little bit loud. Let's see. Right. Good, good, good. Morrie suddenly came to life. He said, I'm dying, Mitch. He said, dying is only one. What did he say? Hang on a second. Let's see. Dying, Morrie suddenly said, is only one thing to be sad over. Living unhappily is something else. So many of the people who come to visit me are unhappy. Why? Well, for one thing, the culture we have does not make people feel good about themselves. We're teaching the wrong things. And you have to be strong enough to say if the culture doesn't work, doesn't buy it, create your own. Most people can't do it. They're more unhappy than me, even in my current condition. I may be dying, but I'm surrounded by loving, caring souls. How many people can say that? I was astonished by his complete lack of self-pity. Morrie, who could no longer dance, swim, bathe, or walk. Morrie, who could no longer answer his own door, dry himself after a shower, or even roll over in bed. How could he be so accepting? I watched him struggle with his fork, picking at a piece of tomato, missing it first 2 times. Pathetic scene. And yet I could not deny that sitting in his presence was almost magically serene. The same calm breeze that soothed me back in college. I shot a glance at my watch. Force of habit, it was getting late. I thought about changing my plane reservation home. Then Morrie did something that haunts me to this day. You know how I'm going to die? He asked. I raised my eyebrows. I'm going to suffocate. Yes, my lungs, because of my asthma, can't handle the disease. It's moving up my body, this ALS. It's already got my legs. Pretty soon it'll get my arms and hands, and when it hits my lungs, he shrugged his shoulders. I had no idea what to say. So I said, well, you never know. Morrie closed his eyes. I know, Mitch, you mustn't be afraid of my dying. I've had a good life. We all know it's going to happen. I maybe have 4 or 5 more. Come on, I said nervously. Nobody can say I can. There's even a little test the doctor showed me. Test? Inhale a few times. Now, once more, but this time, when you exhale, count as many numbers as you can before you take another breath. I quickly exhaled the numbers. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 18. I reached 70 before my breath was gone. Good, Morrie said. You have healthy lungs. Now, watch what I do. He inhaled, then began his number count in a soft, wobbly voice. 1, 2, 3, 15, 17, 18. He stopped, gasping for air. Wanda, Louisiana style. John Catingle, John Catingle, John Catingle. This is easy pop. When the doctor first asked me to do this, I could reach 23. Now it's 18. That's a cool song. How you doing, Wanda? How's the little squirrel friend? It might be a little bit loud, huh? Yeah, you like that music? That's got a cool beat to it. Let me back it up and hear that one again. NDT Show. What's up, buddy? Nathan Tingles. Nathan, we're reading Tuesday with Morrie. Yeah, I guess that's like StreamYard kind of stuff on different levels. TGIF, 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 TGIF. Scuss. I see you down there. Don't be hiding now. Everybody say hey. Brain tingles. Scuss. TW. Pop. TWP popcorn. What's poppin'? TTTT. Popcorn. Hey, Jonica. TGIF. Easy pop. Want to tingle. NDT. Jonica. I need to smoke. So shout out Benny Loco. Angela Critters. Sure laugh at the alien. Pressing them buttons. What do you mean you broke it? Yeah, y'all getting some bad weather up in Tennessee. Who else is from Tennessee out there? Where are y'all from? Where's everybody from? I know Juana's from Louisiana. Type in the chat where everybody's from. Connecticut. Warships stay. It's back. Tongue clicks. Busy clicks. Hey, player. There you go. There you go. Let me put that quick intermission video up there real quick. Let them look at that. Oh yeah, blow your ear off. That's awesome. Wake up. Scuss. Lord, doesn't seem like anything's moving, does it? Let's see something. Isn't that funny? I'm in the campus bookstore. I shop for the items on Morrie's reading list. I purchase books that I never knew existed. Titles such as Youth, Identity, and Crisis, I and Thou, The Divided Self. Before college, I did not know the study of human relations could be considered scholarly. Till I met Morrie, I did not believe it. But his passion for books is real and contagious. We begin to talk seriously sometimes after class, when the room is empty. He asked me questions about my life. Quote lines from Eric Fromm, Martin Buber, Eric Erickson. Often he defers to their words, footnoting his own advice, even though he obviously thought the same things himself. Gentara. Scuss. Gin. It is at these times that I realize he's indeed a professor, not an uncle. Scuss. Oh, happy birthday, darling. It's great to see you. One afternoon, I'm complaining about the confusion of my age. What is expected of me versus what I want for myself. Life is a series of pullbacks and forth. You want to do one thing, but you're bound to do something else. Something hurts you, yet you know it shouldn't. You take certain things for granted, even when you know you should never take anything for granted. tension of opposites like a pull on a rubber band, and most of us live somewhere in the middle. Sounds like a wrestling match, I say. A wrestling match, he laughs. You could describe life that way. So which side wins, I ask? Which side wins? He smiles at me. The crinkled eyes, the crooked teeth. Scuss. Love wins. Love always wins. Scudge, Jonica. Easy paw. TWP. Thank you guys. Thank you all my members, all you great supporters out there. Hey Mike, come on in, buddy. We're reading Tuesday with Morrie. Everybody, say hey to Mike. It's Mike's Chaotic Gardening. I was in the attic. Yes, Pop. I waited in 1 hour in room 2. You never came. Mike's good. Jonica, tingle. I flew to London a few weeks later. I was covering Wimbledon, the world's premier tennis competition, and one of the few events I go to where the crowd never boos and no one is drunk in the parking lot. Scuss. England was warm and cloudy, and each morning I walked the tree-lined streets near the tennis courts, passing teenagers queued up for leftover tickets and vendors selling strawberries and cream. And outside the gate was a newsstand that sold a half-dozen colorful British tabloids, featuring photos of topless women, paparazzi pictures of the royal family, horoscopes, sports lottery contests, and a wee bit of actual news. People scooped up these tabloids, devoured their gossip. And on previous trips to England, I'd always done the same. Now, for some reason, I found myself thinking about Morrie whenever I read anything silly or mindless. I kept picturing him there, in the house with the Japanese maple and hardwood floors, counting his breath, squeezing out every moment with his loved ones. Well, I spent so many hours on things that meant absolutely nothing to me personally. Movie stars, supermodels, the latest noise out of Princess Di, Madonna, or John F. Kennedy. In a strange way, I envied the quality of Morrie's time, even as I lamented its diminishing supply. Why did we? bother with all the distractions we did. Back home, the O.J. Simpson trial was in full swing, and there were people who surrendered their entire lunch hours watching it, then take the rest of the day watch more at night. They didn't know O.J. Simpson. They didn't know anyone involved in the case, but they gave up days and weeks of their lives, addicted to someone else's trauma. I remember what Morrie said during our visit. The culture we have does not make people feel good about themselves. And you have to be strong enough to say if the culture doesn't work, don't buy it. And learn and grow within. Learn and grow within. Morrie, true to these words, had developed his own culture long before he got sick. Discussion groups, walks with friends, dancing to his music in the Harvard Square Church. He started a project called Greenhouse where poor people could receive mental health services. He read books to find new ideas for his classes, visited with colleagues, kept up with old students, and wrote letters to distant friends. He took more time eating and looking at nature and wasted no time in front of TV. He created a cocoon of human activities, conversation, interaction, affection, and a built life like an overflowing soup bowl. I'd also developed my own culture, work. I did 4 or 5 media jobs in England, juggling them like a clown. I spent 8 hours a day on the computer. Over the years, I'd taken labor as my companion and had moved everything else to the side. Teresa tingle. I thought of something else Morrie told me. Perfectly imperfect. So many people walk around with meaningless lives. They seem half asleep, even when they're busy doing things they think are important. This is because they're chasing the wrong things. The way you get meaning in your life is to devote yourself to loving others. Devote yourself to your community around you. And devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose, meaning. I knew he was right. Not that I did anything about it. It's great to see everybody tonight. I hope you're enjoying the short story. Jim and Zora, welcome to the show. Teresa up to church. Teresa Tingles. Learn and grow with Amy. great to see you. We're reading Tuesday with Morrie, story about a man with Lou Gehrig's disease. Shawshank Redemption coming up Tuesday. I'm sure some of y'all remember the classic movie Grease. We'll be doing a production of that after Shawshank Redemption. Who's playing the mouse? I know in Thanksgiving we'll be doing planes, trains, and automobiles. You can also catch some, readings and things over at Izzy Pop's channel. She just did a piece for Mandar from a book that he wrote. Really good production of that with overlays and everything. You'll have to check that out later. Great tingles. I don't know, Rocky Horror. I guess we're putting that on the back burner. It seems so logistical for some reason. Yeah, the fish start biting when the wind blows a different way. Time to go fishing. Treasure Island. Oh my gosh. I love that story. Oh man. I have the book hardback too, actually. Hey, Derby Jack. It's Derby Jack Christian Blues. Welcome to the show. Just stopping by at Nez's stream. Oh, I didn't even realize Nez was live. Tell her I said hey. Definitely be catching her replay later. Yeah, isn't that a great book, Janica? Treasure Island. It's a classic. One second. Well, I haven't made any new overlays lately. Everybody seems to be making them for me. Some quick learners out there. Relax, relax, relax. Relax all over, just relax. Tingle, 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 relax. Let it all go. Feeling good, I'm tingling all over. Layering direct. Layering tingles. Layering tingle. Learning grow within. Learn and grow within. Tingle. I felt confused and depressed. Although the TV and radio were nice supplements, the newspaper had been my lifeline, my oxygen. When I saw my stories in print each morning, I knew that in at least one way, I was alive. Now I was gone. Strike went on for months. I'd grown used to thinking readers somehow needed my column. I was stunned at how easily things went on without me. Amos Cardos. Welcome, buddy. Mike's chaotic gardening. Easy pop. After a week of this, I picked up the phone and dialed Morrie's number. Connie brought him to the phone. "You're coming to visit me?" he said, with less question than a statement. "Well, could I? How about Tuesday?" "Tuesday would be good," I said. "Tuesday would be fine." In my sophomore year, I take 2 more of his courses. We go beyond the classroom, meeting now and then just to talk. I've never done this before with an adult who is not a relative, yet I feel comfortable doing it with Morrie. And he seems comfortable making the time. "What shall we visit today?" he asked cheerily when I enter his office. In the spring, we sit under a tree outside the sociology building, and in the winter, we sit by his desk. Me in my gray sweatshirts and Adidas sneakers, Morrie in Rockport shoes and corduroy pants. Each time we talk, he listens to me ramble. Then he tries to pass on some sort of life lesson. He warns me that money is not the most important thing, contrary to the popular view on campus. He tells me I need to be fully human. Speaks of the alienation of youth and the need for connectedness with the society around me. Some of these things I understand, some I don't. It makes no difference. These discussions give me an excuse to talk to him. Fatherly conversations I cannot have with my own father, who would like me to be a lawyer. Johnny Small Pepper. Welcome, buddy. Come on in. It's Johnny. Scoot. Nora tinkles. Nora, scoot. The stock explorer. Head tingle brain. Morrie hates lawyers. "What do you want to do when you get out of college?" "I want to be a musician," I say. "Piano player." "Wonderful. That's a hard life." lot of sharks. That's what I hear. Still, if you really want it, you'll make your dream happen. I want to hug him, thank him for saying that, but I'm not that open. I'll only nod instead. Ska, 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 ska. Ska, ska, ska. I'll bet you play piano with a lot of people. He laughs. I can't say. It's okay, Morrie. Morrie has trouble breathing sometimes. Tanya tinkles. Hey everyone. Hey Tanya Lambert. It's so great to see you. Tanya, we're reading Tuesday with Morrie. It's the first Tuesday we talk about the world. Ska, 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 ska. Ska, 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 ska. Hey, cha, 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 cha. Tinkle. Hey, ska, ska, ska. Connie opens the door and lets me in. Morrie's in his wheelchair. He's by the kitchen table. Jonica, Jonica. Thank you. Just saw that. Tingle, 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 tingle. Jonica, tingle, tingle, tingle. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He's wearing a loose cotton shirt, and it's even looser than before. They were loose because his legs had atrophied beyond normal clothing size. You could get 2 hands around his thighs and have your fingers touch. He'd been able to stand. He'd been more than 5 feet tall. He probably had fit into a 6th grader's jeans. I got you something. Oh, now. Pulled up a brown paper bag. I'd stopped on the way from the airport. Nearby supermarket, purchased some turkey, potato salad, macaroni, and some bagels. I knew there's plenty of food at the house, but I wanted to contribute something. I was so powerless to help Morrie otherwise, and I remembered his fondness for eating. Wood and metal garage. Welcome. Oh. Y'all hear me? Sound check. Goop, goop, goop. Scoop, scoop, sound check, 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 check. Occasionally, I had to stop to use the bathroom, process that took some time. Connie would wheel him to the toilet and lift him up from the chair and support him as he, well, I'm just not going to read that. I mean, that's some hardcore shit, damn. This is interesting. As Connie took the plates away, I noticed a stack of newspapers that had obviously been read before I got there. You bother keeping up with the news? I asked. Yes, Morrie said. Do you think that's strange? Do you think because I'm dying, I shouldn't care what happens in this world? Maybe. He sighed. Maybe you're right. Maybe I shouldn't care. After all, I won't be around to see how it all turns out. It's hard to explain, Mitch. Now that I'm suffering, I feel closer to people who suffer than I ever did before. The other night on TV, I saw people in Bosnia running across the street, getting fired upon, killed, innocent victims, and I just started to cry. I feel their anguish as if it were my own. I don't know any of these people. How can I put this? I'm almost drawn to them. His eyes got moist and I tried to change the subject, but he dabbed his face and waved me off. I cry all the time now, he said. Never mind. Amazing, I thought. I worked in the news business. I covered stories where people died. I interviewed grieving family members. I even attended funerals. I never cried. Morrie, for the suffering of people half a world away, was weeping. Is this what comes at the end? I wonder. Maybe death is the great equalizer. One big thing that finally makes strangers shed a tear for one another. Hey, monarch. Morrie honked loudly into the tissue. This is okay with you, isn't it? Men crying? Sure, I said, too quickly. He grinned. Oh, Mitch, I'm gonna loosen you up. One day, I'm gonna show you it's okay to cry. Yeah, I said. Yeah. We laughed because he used to say the same thing nearly 20 years earlier, mostly on Tuesdays. In fact, Tuesday had always been our day together. Most of my courses with Morrie were on Tuesdays. He had office hours on Tuesdays. And when I wrote my senior thesis, which was pretty much Morrie's suggestion right from the start, it was on Tuesdays that we sat together by his desk or in the cafeteria or on the steps of Parliament Hall going over the work. Pindar, welcome, darling. Come on in, pull up a seat. So it only seemed fitting that we were back together on Tuesday. Here in the house with the Japanese maple out front. As I ready to go, I mentioned this to Morrie. We're Tuesday people, he said. Tuesday people. Morrie smiled. Mitch, you asked about caring for people I don't even know. Can I tell you the thing I'm learning most with this disease? And what's that? Most important thing in life is to learn how to give out love, to let it come in. His voice dropped to a whisper. Let it come in. We think we don't deserve love. We think if we let it in, we'll become too soft. But a wise man named Levine said it right. Love is the only rational act. Love, love, love. Sk, 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 sk. Love is the only rational act. I nodded like a good student and he excelled weakly. I leaned over to give him a hug. And then, although it's not really like me, I kissed him on the cheek. I felt his weakened hands on my arms, the thin stubble of his whiskers brushing my face. So you'll come back next Tuesday, he whispered. Bottle caps, bottle caps. Learn and grow with me. Stock, stock, stockings. Man, I lost my place. How you doing, Pendar? BC treasure trails, BC treasure trails, bottle caps, tingle pop, tingle pop, tingle pop, pepper tingles, pepper tingles, bald and fearless, stone cold. He enters the classroom, sits down, doesn't say anything. He looks at us. We look at him. At first there are a few giggles, but Morrie only shrugs. Eventually a deep silence falls and we begin to notice the smallest sounds. A radiator humming in the corner, nasal breathing of one of the fat students. Some of us are agitated. What's happening here, he asks. Slowly a discussion begins. So Morrie has wanted all along about the effect of silence on human relations. Why are we embarrassed by silence? What comfort do we find in all the noise? I am not bothered by silence. We tingle pop. It's TWP. Member for 4 months. Heck yeah. A broska TWP. All the noise I make with my friends, I'm still not comfortable talking about my feelings in front of others, especially not classmates. On my way out, Morrie stops me. You didn't say much today, he remarks. I don't know. I just didn't have anything to add. I think you have a lot to add, Mitch. You remind me of someone I knew who also liked to keep things to himself when he was younger. Who? Me. It's the second Tuesday and we talk about feeling sorry for yourself. I came back the next Tuesday, and for many Tuesdays that followed, I looked forward to these visits, more than one would think, considering I was flying 700 miles to sit alongside a dying man. But I seemed to slip into a time warp when I visited Morrie, and I liked myself better when I was there. In light of this, my visits with Morrie felt like a cleansing rinse of human kindness. We talked about life and we talked about love. We talked about one of Morrie's favorite subjects, compassion. Why our society had such a shortage of it. For my third visit, I stopped at a market called Bread and Circus I had seen on their bags in Morrie's house and figured he must like the food there. And I loaded up with plastic containers from their fresh food takeaway. Things like vermicelli with vegetables and carrot soup and baklava. When I entered Morrie's study, I lifted the bags as if I just robbed a bank. Food, man, I bellowed. Morrie rolled his eyes and smiled. Meanwhile, I looked for signs of the disease's progression. His fingers worked well enough to write with a pencil or hold up his glasses, but he could still not lift his arms much higher than his chest. He was spending less and less time in the kitchen or living room and more in his study,
where he had large reclining chairs set up with pillows, blankets, and specially cut pieces of foam rubber that held his feet and gave support to his withered legs. He kept a bell near his side. When his head needed adjusting or he had to go on the commode, as he referred to it, he would shake the bell and Connie, Tony, Bertha, or Amy, a small army of home care workers, would come in. It wasn't easy for him to lift the bell, and he got frustrated when he couldn't make it work. I asked Morrie if he felt sorry for himself. Sometimes in the mornings, that's when I mourn. I feel around my body, move my fingers and my hands, whatever I can still move. I mourn what I lost. I mourn the slow, insidious way in which I'm dying. Then I stop mourning, just like that. I give myself a good cry if I need it. Then I concentrate on all the good things still in my life. People come and see me. Stories I'm going to hear. On you if it's Tuesday, because we're Tuesday people. Our grand Tuesday people. Mitch, I don't allow myself any more self-pity than that. A little each morning, a few tears, and that's all. All about all the people I knew who spent many of their waking hours feeling sorry for themselves. How useful it would be to put a daily limit on self-pity in just a few tearful minutes. Then on with the day. And if Morrie could do it with such a horrible disease. It's only horrible if you see it that way, Mitch. It's horrible to watch my body slowly wilt away to nothing. It's also wonderful because all the time I get to say goodbye. He smiled. Not everyone is so lucky. I studied him in his chair, unable to stay, to watch the pull on his pants. Lucky? Did he really say lucky? During a break, when Morrie had to use the bathroom, I leafed through the Boston newspaper that sat near his chair. There was a story about a small timber town where 2 teenage girls tortured and killed a 73-year-old man who had befriended them. Went to the party in his trailer home and showed off the corpse. There was another story about the upcoming trial of a straight man who killed a gay man after the latter had gone on a TV talk show and said he had a crush on him. I put the paper away. Morrie just rolled back, smiling as always, and Connie went to lift him from the wheelchair. You want me to do that? I asked. There was a momentary silence. I'm not even sure why I offered. Morrie looked at Connie and said, "Can you show him how to do it?" "Sure." He followed her instructions. I leaned over, locked my forearms under Morrie's armpits, and hooked him toward me. That's funny. Izzy was just telling me how he lifts somebody like that. That's funny, Izzy. Hey, Angela. He's having to lift Morrie up, like we were talking about, like how you lift people. Holding him like that moved me in a way I can't describe, except to say I felt the seeds of death inside his shriveling frame. And as I laid him in his chair, adjusting his head on the pillows, I had the coldest realization that our time was running out. And I had to do something. We'll let that run for just a minute, guys. Take a quick little bathroom break.
Tingle. Hey, Johnny Small Pepper. Let's make sure we get Johnny's link in the chat and get over there and support him. Oh, good. Everybody relax and discuss them. Yeah, Jonica, it's sad, but it's also uplifting.
think reading this book can take many people out of the slump. I mean, because truthfully, this man's dying of one of the worst diseases known to man, one of the most horrifying ways to go, and he's showing you he can make the most of it, then you can too, no matter what kind of odds you're overcoming. So I mean, he's what do you think? Makes one grateful for sure. But yeah, very difficult. ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's my junior year, 1978, when disco and Rocky movies are the cultural rage. We're in an unusual sociology class at Brandeis, something Morrie calls group process. On this day, Morrie says he's got an exercise for us to try. We're to stand facing away from our classmates, fall backward, relying on another student to catch us. Most of us are uncomfortable with this. We can't let go more than a few inches before stopping ourselves. We laugh in embarrassment. Finally, one student, a thin, quiet, dark-haired girl whom I notice almost always wears bulky white fisherman sweaters, crosses her arms over her chest, closes her eyes, leans back, does not flinch, like one of those Lipton tea commercials where the model splashes into the pool. For a moment, I'm sure she's going to thump on the floor. At the last instant, her assigned partner grabs her head and shoulders and yanks her up harshly. Guru tingles. Guru, 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 and swallow the turtle. You see, he says to the girl, you closed your eyes. That was the difference. Sometimes you can't believe what you see. You have to believe what you feel. And if you're ever going to have other people trust you, you must feel that you can trust them. Even when you're in the dark, even when you're falling. The next Tuesday, I arrived with normal bags of food, pasta with corn, potato salad, apple cobbler. Something else, a Sony tape recorder. I want to remember what we talk about, I told Morrie. I want to have your voice so I can listen to it later. When I'm dead, don't say that. Mitch, I'm going to die, and sooner, not later. He regarded the new machine. So big, he said. I felt intrusive, as reporters often do, and I began to think that a tape machine between two people who were supposedly friends was a foreign object, an artificial ear. With all the people clamoring for his time, perhaps I was trying to take too much away from these Tuesdays. Listen, I said, picking up the recorder. We don't have to use this if it makes you uncomfortable. He stopped me, wagged a finger, then hooked his glasses off his nose, letting them dangle on the string around his neck. He looked me square in the eye. Put it down, he said. I put it down. Mitch, you don't understand. I want to tell you about my life. I want to tell you before I can't tell you anymore. I want someone to hear my story. Will you? I nodded. We sat quietly for a moment. So, is it turned on? Now, the truth is, the tape recorder was more than nostalgia. I was losing Morrie. We were all losing Morrie. His family, his friends, his ex-students, his fellow professors, his pals from the political discussion groups that he loved so much, his former dance partners, all of us. And I suppose tapes like photographs and videos, a desperate attempt to steal something from Death's suitcase. But it was also coming clear to me through his courage, his humor, his patience, and his openness that Morrie was looking at life from some very different place than anyone else I knew. A healthier place. More sensible. And he was about to die. But. With some mystical clarity, thought came when you looked death in the eye. And I knew Morrie wanted to share. And I wanted to remember that as long as I could. Mitch, culture doesn't encourage you to think about such things until you're about to die. We're so wrapped up with egotistical things, career, family, having enough money, meeting the mortgage, getting a new car, fixing the radiator when it breaks. We're involved in trillions of little acts. It just keeps going. So we don't get into the habit of standing back and looking at our lives and saying, is this all? Is this all world? Something missing. DJ. You need someone to probe you in that direction. It won't just happen automatically. I knew what he was saying. We all need teachers in our lives. And mine was sitting in front of me. Every time, tucking it in, tuck it in, tuck it in. Yeah, it was a pretty good session tonight. I think that's a good stopping point for the narration. Y'all can hear my voice kind of fading out.
Tanya. Tuck it in. You have a good night, darling. Guru and Waga the turtle. Pindar. Perfectly perfect.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this book. It's one of those life-changing stories.
And DJ is my broska. Perfectly imperfect. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Perfectly imperfect. Unforgettable. Jonica. Thank you.
Learn and grow with anything. I'll give a big thanks to Izzy Pop, our moderator. Doing probably more work than me. Right? So we are on page 61 of 175. So ooh, getting summertime hot. Oh, you're welcome, Jonica. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I never listen. So sometimes you got to kick me in the shin. Yep. Yeah, I was wondering. I was talking to somebody the other day about that. You know, should I do some streams where I don't do ASMR and just read, or sometimes it sets people off. So
Naughty Mickey. Tuck it in perfectly. Tick pop, ting pop.
Scully Pop. Look, Izzy and I had a baby called Scully Pop. He'll like that. It's a boy. We named him Scully Pop. How you like Scully Pop, Nikki? Thank you, Angela.
Rivers. Wheezy Scupper. Tuck it in.
Has he got the right amount of teeth? Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Mm-hmm. I think I see the light. It's right there where you said it would be. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. That was part 2 of Tuesday with Morrie. I'm Scully, the author that reads to you. Dang, 46 degrees. That's pretty cold. Yoop, 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 yoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, you guys buckle up. It's been quite the ride, and we'll see you on the other side. And play a little outro video for you.
Tingle brain.